Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 44 this week, guessing the set list. This week in Godsmack news, on Monday it was Shannon Larkin's birthday, so happy birthday, Shannon. Hope you had a good one. They also celebrated Godsmack 4 turned 17 years old. That's that's really hard to believe. I remember getting it when it came out 17 years ago. Insane. Also, they posted a reminder for the Sonic Temple show on May 25th in Columbus, Ohio, so make sure you get your tickets. Um, that's it in Godsmack news, which is kind of what I figured. Uh, They're gearing up for the tour, going over the set lists, rehearsals, looking at this new stage, which is what I'm really interested in seeing the set list, what they play. So yeah, down there in Florida. So again, that's it this week. Godsmack News. This is episode 44. Guessing the set list. So, in this week's episode, I thought it would be kind of fun to guess the set list for the upcoming tour, which kicks off May the 4th in Greenwood Village, Colorado. There are certain songs Godsmack actually has to play, or they'll get killed. People would not be happy. And then there's some songs I'm going to throw in that they could play or maybe not play. Some of these songs I don't think they will play, maybe in future tour, the hits tours that Sully has mentioned that they will do after the Lighting Up the Sky tour. So, yeah, let's get into this. So I'm going to go album by album, so it's not really in order as where I think it will be in the set list. Although there is one song that I think they will start the show with, and I'll mention that when we get to it. So we're going to start off with the debut album. These two songs out of the three that I picked are definitely have to be played. The song Whatever and Voodoo. The other song is Keep Away, so I'm going to put it in my set list. Um, there are tours where they've not played this song. There's been tours where they only or played this song a lot. So I'm actually going to put it in the set list. So the second album is Awake. They always play the title track since the Awake tour. So plus they got a great pyro and lighting setup for the song. So yeah, they'll definitely play this song. Plus the crowd really gets into it. So it's a got to be played song. Two other songs that I think would be kind of cool if they brought them in, but I'm not really holding my breath. The song's Mistakes, and the other song is Greed. I think it would be really cool to hear them do these songs and bring them back into the set list. But like I said, maybe on the hits tour they'll do, or at least bring one of these that I mentioned back. So let's go to album number 3, and that is the Faceless album. They got to play I Stand Alone. There's no way they cannot play this song. Uh, it's more than anything, it's the song that closes the whole entire show with a bunch of fire and pyro. Although, what's really kind of interesting, and I mentioned this on way back on episode 2, what I call the Radio Festival Tour. They actually opened up the shows with I Stand Alone. So, but yeah, I'm sure when they did these little hit and run shows in the European tour in October, they put I Stand Alone back to where it was, and that's the closure. So yeah, they got to play this. Two other songs I think would be kind of cool if they brought them back into the set list. Straight Out of Line They didn't play it on the Legends tour, so that would be kind of cool and refreshing to hear. Another song they haven't played since the Horsepower tour. The song is Serenity. I mentioned that song on the episode of MTV Hard Rock Live where I talk about Serenity, and I said how fresh it sounded because they haven't played it in quite a while. But you got Under Your Scars, so two slow songs might not be that great, or at least on this tour. Um, so let's go to the other side EP. There's not going to be a single song off this EP, although speaking of the hits tour, there's my notes. Speaking of the hits tour, right after they do the Lighting Up the Sky tour, I think it would be kind of cool, and if they're watching, I think it would be kind of cool to do what Def Leppard does, or Bon Jovi, or I even saw a Queensryche tour do this, and that is in the middle of their set, slow it way down, do like this acoustic kind of thing, do a couple acoustic songs, and then build the show back up, and then on a high note. But do like Serenity and Voices and Touche and maybe even Keep Away. I think Keep Away sounds fantastic acoustic. Another band, Motley Crue, did it as well. So, but anyway, I'm rambling. Uh, yeah, I don't see them playing any of these songs off the other side EP. So that brings us to Godsmack 4. And like I said, in Godsmack News, it celebrated 17 years old. The song I'm picking off of Godsmack 4 is the song Speak. Uh, this song, I'm not really sure what's going on. As I mentioned in previous episodes on tour reviews and hit and run shows and the radio festival tour, they put Speak into the set list. They play a bunch of shows, then all of a sudden they pull Speak out of the set list. Then they do a couple more shows, then they put Speak back into the set list. I'm not really sure why they do this, but I got it in my set list as song number 6. So hopefully it'll stay in the set list. We'll see. Uh, Two other songs that I'm picking off of Godsmack 4 that they could replace Speak with, and that is The Enemy and the song Shine Down. Shine Down they haven't played since Godsmack 4 tour. The Enemy, best of my knowledge right off the top of my head, is the Horsepower tour that they did in Europe. They kind of brought that back. But other than that, they haven't played it since. So let's go to the next album, and that is The Oracle. Now, this song they absolutely have to play. It is Crying Like a Beep. Yeah, it was a huge smash single for them on this album. Uh, Again, it gets the crowd really into it, and it's great live. I love it live. I actually love it more live than I do the album. But yeah, they have to play this. Another song I would mention that I would love for them to bring back is another single smash hit off the album, Love, Hate, Sex, Pain. I'd love to see them do this, but maybe for the hits tour they'll bring it back. Next album is 1,000 Horsepower. They obviously have to play the title track. Again, fantastic live. They do a bunch of fire in it and more fire in the song. The crowd really gets into it, fist in the air. Yeah. So yeah, that's a song they have to play. So that's song number 8. Number 9. Now this is kind of like Keep Away, and that is something different. I'm going to put it in my set list. This might be the tour that they actually take it off the set list. It is a song that Sully absolutely loves to play live. I love hearing it. He has the crowd, or the stage lights go off, and then he has the crowd light up the arena or outdoor venue with their cigarette lighters or the flashlight on their phones, and it has people jumping up and down once the song really kicks in. But yeah, I could actually kind of see this one maybe dropping out of the set list, but I'm going to keep it in mind for now. So I think they'll actually play it. Another song that I would love for them to bring back that they could is Generation Day. It wasn't a single, but they kind of released it as a kind of promotional thing for the album. Uh, in fact, on the Horsepower Tour, there were shows where they actually opened the show with this song. We'll talk more about that when I do the Tour to Tour series. Um, but yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. But I don't see it happening. But who knows? Next album is When Legends Rise. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Um, they not just had one, not even two, but not even three. They had four number one songs off the Legends album. So I'm gonna put them all four into the set list, but I could actually see them dropping two in this. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it all four of them because to me, you got to put it in there. They're all number one songs. I mean, these, people know these. So, song number 10 is Bulletproof. Song number 11 is Under Your Scars. Now, these are the two songs that I think could be dropped. Uh, the title track, When Legends Rise, and song number 13, Unforgettable. Those two songs, I could actually see them disappearing on the set list, but I got it in mind. So we'll see what happens. Plus the Legends Tour, and we'll talk more about it when I do the Tour to Tour series. They played more songs off of this album than any that I can remember. They not only played those four songs, they played Take It to the Edge, Someday, Say My Name, Eye of the Storm. 8 songs out of 12 off that album. So, but yeah, I could see any of those making the set list either. I wouldn't be mad. Uh, Say My Name, awesome drum beat by Shannon, great chorus. Take It to the Edge, another great chorus by, yeah. But anyway, so continue on. I don't think they'll make it in the set list. I think they kind of had their little uh, moment of glory, I guess, in the Legends tour. But I don't really see them playing any of those. Alright, so then, last but not least, the new album, Lighting Up the Sky. Uh, I mentioned this in last week's episode on Godsmack News. Sully was asked, what's your favorite songs on the album? He said for energy, he loves Souls on Fire. Passion and emotional, he likes The Truth and the title track, Lighting Up the Sky. And I said, I think there's two out of those three will actually be played live. So let's hear it. So song number 14, I think he's going to play, they will play the title track, Lighting Up the Sky. In fact, I think, I could be wrong, they could open up the show with this song because when I first listened to this album all the way through and I got to this track, I could actually see it in my head, all the power going off, them playing this song on stage. So, yeah, don't be surprised if that's the first song. Song number 15 is another number one song off of Lighting Up the Sky, and that's Surrender. The new single, I think they'll play that as well, Soul on Fire, so that's 16 songs. I also picked two other songs that I think could make the set list that may take the place of Keep Away or When Legends Rise or Unforgettable, and that is Let's Go and the song You and I. So that's my set list pick. There is a song on the new album. I don't think they'll play live at all. Uh, I meant to look on Godsmack.com to see if there is a 4th of July show or close to the 4th of July show or maybe after the 4th of July. And that's the song you probably already guessed it, Red, White, and Blue. I don't think they'll ever play this song live, although it's a great song. Yeah, I don't really see them ever playing this. But, yeah, so that's it. So, there's my picks. So that, like I said, that's 16 songs. That's not including the Battle of the Drums. And Sully also likes to do those just for fun songs. Uh, but here's the thing. Godsmack actually averages around 14 to 15 songs a set list. So we'll see. I think they ought to grow it to 16, maybe even 18 songs. But because they were on the Legends Tour, they were getting close to 2 hour shows. On the European tour, they did an hour and a half, sometimes a little bit longer, like an hour and 40 minutes. So, but we'll see. Homework this week. Uh, Give me your set list. What do you think they'll play? Uh, Question number 2 for homework. Are you going to any of these shows? Write me a comment down below. Let me know. I know I've talked to a couple of people that are going to the Kansas City show. I've talked to somebody that's going to the Mount Pleasant show in Michigan. So yeah, write me a comment down below. Let me know. And that's it for this week. Next week's episode is episode 45. So we're going back to TV. The TV appearances is what we're going to be talking about. I'm talking about Pepsi Smash. I remember watching it, but I can't remember what Pepsi Smash was. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Jimmy Kimmels and Late Night with Conan O'Brien and stuff like that that they actually appeared on and the songs that they did. So that's next week, episode 45. Now, if you know anybody that's a Godsmack fan, likes to talk about Godsmack, hear about Godsmack, send them this way. Tell them to go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, type in Smack This, the Unofficial. Send them the link. Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. That actually helps out the podcast. And that's it for this week. And you just got Godsmack.